Hello quilting friends. Well, here we are on block 6 of our sew along. I wanted to show you again how I do the machine applique on these little snowman heads we have for block 6. So I have a piece of stabilizer fastened to the back so that my stitches will be nice and smooth and even. And I have, let's see, did that show? I forgot to look if that showed. There's the stabilizer back there. I also have set my machine to do my double buttonhole stitch, which for me is number 46 on my Bernina, with a width of 2 and a length of 1.9, and I have my needle in the down position. That way, whenever I need to pivot or turn, I can do that without having the fabric move out of place. I'm going to start and stop my stitching with this straight stitch, and the length is also 1.9 so that it matches up that buttonhole width. And I move the needle position 2 places over to the right, so everything will line up nicely with that straight stitch and that buttonhole stitch. Okay, so this is a nice one since I'm going to start and stop in the same area, just kind of go around it. So I'm going to line up my needle here with the edge. I don't want to be on that applique, but just right next to it on the edge there, and I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread to start. Okay, and then drop that needle back down in that same hole where I started. Okay, and I've got it set on my straight stitch here, so I'm going to take just a few straight stitches, about 5 or 6, and then I'm going to switch to my buttonhole stitch and go around the snowman. You'll notice that I'm continuing to keep my needle on the straight stitch part right along this edge, and then the bite goes in from there. So that secures everything very nicely, and by keeping my needle on this side of that applique, it doesn't cause any of the threads to fray and come loose there. So that's just an important part of the process. On these straight sections, I love to go a little bit faster. As I come to this point where I'm going to want to make a turn, I go ahead and slow down as I come to this corner. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to take the bite up. I'm actually going to lift up my presser foot and pivot. And I want that bite now is going to come across those stitches I just did. And now I will continue up and around my snowman. Now, because this is a curve, I'm going to have to make little adjustments as I go. And anytime I make an adjustment, I always do it when it's in the straight part of the stitch. I don't want to do it when I'm doing the bite. Sometimes you can make little tiny adjustments just by moving your work as you go. And it's a nice smooth curve like this. And now other times I actually lift it up. But always making sure that needle is in the down position so that when I move, the needle keeps my place for me. Okay, I'm going to continue on around my snowman head, and I'll join you again as I approach the next corner. Alright, well, I'm getting close to my next corner here, so slow down a little bit as I come to it. Okay, and I'm going to stop again with my needle at that point. And then take my button stitch across. I'm going to go ahead and trim these little threads from the beginning here before I get to them. You can see I'm coming up to those beginning stitches, and I'm going to just go right over the top of them with my buttonhole stitch. I'm slowing down because I'm coming up to my starting point. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to my straight stitch. And do a locking stitch to finish it off. Okay, there we have our snowman applique. So I hope this helps you as you do your own blocks, and I hope that if you have any questions, you will feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. I guess that's it for this time. So until next time, happy quilting!